Now, can you hear now? I think now it's working. It's because I have to use two cameras and then one. Okay, let's start over. Today, we're gonna make this coach that I got a Joanne's, Okay, now it's working. Yeah, so, okay, we're gonna start. Hi, guys, welcome to the class number 15. So I was looking for something to do for fall, for winter. Now it's winter, right? And then I was at Joanne's and I found the simplicity pattern. And I just thought that this one would be simple, right? Because it looks very simple. And then I was looking through the directions today, and it's not as simple. So I thought it would take way too long for us to make this when in the class. It would take like 2-3 hours. So I started a part of it first, and then now we're gonna sew it. So what I've done is, and this is something I always do, I actually shot a video while I prepared the pattern for the coach. And so then I'll show you the video later. But this class today, we're just going to do the sewing. I also cut it. Is it working now, Ebony? I think it should be working, right? Sorry, I see you're commenting. My audio it should be working. Okay. So what I always do is like I like transferring the pattern to my own paper so I don't ruin the original one. And this is what it is. So I'm going to show you the parts. And so the thing is, there's no many parts. There's just a few, and that's exciting, right? So it's not a bunch. It's not like a puzzle, but it's like the back, and then the front, the facing, and the sleeve, and then the pocket. And the pocket had this lining, and I was like, I don't want to do the lining. But then I decided to add the lining. As I was reading the instructions for the pattern, I decided to do the lining. I learned something very cool, how to make a pattern, how to make a pocket. So I'll show you. That's the first step, actually. Okay, let me put. Okay, now the thing is working, so I'm gonna put the table. And so you can see my table. Okay, this way you don't see my face because I'm using this software that's called StreamYard, but sometimes I'll show up. Okay, so let's start sewing. And the thing is, I said it wasn't very simple. That it's because it has this kind of dart here. You see when I'm sewing, it's kind of crazy, but I think it will look cool. And then I'm just put my thing here. Oops. I chose this beautiful fabric that I got, is this wool that I got from that vintage shop a few months ago here in New Hampshire. They have they have new and used fabric. And so this was a new panel, and I got it, and it was almost not enough to make this jacket, but it's going to be cool because I made it happen. The sleeve, for instance, I had to add this extra part here, but I think it'll be okay at the end, right? Oh, hi, Gita. So cool you're here. Awesome. And so here's the thing, guys. I put my list there, which for every step. If I don't make it on my own, I'm going to look at the instructions, but I'm going to try to do it without it, okay? So the first thing is the pocket. And look how cool this process is. I never done like this. I always just do the pocket without a lining. But basically, so there are two. And then there's this, the lining, right? So, and then there's a dart, like a notch. You just join the notches. Did I put the joint? Yeah, here's the notch. And so I'm going to stitch this pockets just like here. And then, how is it? Oh yeah, just stitch just the top here and then leave a little opening here. So I'm going to do a stitch here, stop, and then do another one. Let me get my chair. Yeah, I'm so glad you guys joined me. It's like the holidays and everyone's doing something else. I know it's not like we're not supposed to party, but I feel like everyone's kind of like joining their family, right? So then I do this reverse, leave an opening and move forward. Now the same with this one. Have you guys ever, if you ever done a pattern like this, let me know, because pockets like this, because I never heard of this and it's so cool. Living and learning, right? I think it's like this. For some reason, that side doesn't have the notch. I got a little late because I was like, oh my God, I gotta start. Oh, I think it's like this. Yeah, oh, here's a notch. Okay, so the same thing. Leave an opening. And then you move forward like this and stitch like that. But I think I should trim it here. And then press. Let me see. So yes, and this pattern is available. If hi Lily, this pattern is available at Joanne's if you wanna just get it for yourself, and then follow along with the tutorial. Would be cool. Look, I'm just gonna press the seams open here, and then you move like that, and then just close, and then sew the whole thing around it. Probably can press here too, right? So it's already on place like that. Can you guys see well? That's good. Look. I think I'm gonna do like my lives every week in a certain time, and I'm thinking Wednesday night. What do you guys think? Can you do if I do every Wednesday at this time? So I'm gonna stitch all around it. Oops. This one, now the other one. Cool. Now the cool part. So just trim it, trim the extra. Try to not cut the iron cable. Trim the corners. And then we can flip it inside out or turn it, right? Through this opening, remember? Wednesday works for you. That's good. Perfect, Edita. Yeah, you're in New York, so we're in the same. Sometimes maybe I'll do later because there's a lot of followers of mine there from the West Coast to Los Angeles, and they keep saying like, "Can you do later?" Because I work during the day. But then I'll need to do like 10 p.m. It's kind of late, right? Maybe I'll do like sometime. Oh my God. So leave the opening a little. I leave like 1 inch. It's not enough. Let me get my paintbrush. Look how cool. Then it's a pocket with the with a lining. Isn't it awesome? Like this, you just want to have the points very pointy, right? So it's nice. Okay, and then you close the stitch here. I can do it by hand later. And then I think the next step is I'll do the stay stitch. I never do a stay stitch, but I'm gonna do it today because I'm being it's my new year. No, I think for coats and stuff, it's good to do like certain steps. It's like tailoring, right? Oh God, why did I leave this so tiny? Here's my. Open a little so there's more room. And I did like some crazy reverse. Okay. Yeah, just try because, hi Linda. No, it's crazy how I never heard of this. And and I always have, when I do like commercial patterns, there's so many vocabulary and stuff that I have to understand that I always give up. I'm like, oh, I can't do that. So, okay. So that's the first step. Just press. And you gotta press. Okay, so I'm gonna put the pockets on the side. And then the next thing is to find the back pattern, which is this one. And on the original pattern, it was supposed to be a seam in the center back, but I didn't want to have that. So I just placed on fold and then took it away the seam allowance, right? But then, because I didn't want to have a seam right here. So now I'm going to do the stay stitch, which is just like a seam around the neck. Move on my tools. Okay. Now, so the front is also the back collar, or like is the under collar. Stay with me, you understand. So here's my front. Look, the two parts. Okay. And then I have to join this is the center back. So the front has this whole thing that goes towards the back, and this is the back. So I'm just gonna join them together here. Is this center back of the undercollar. Then I'm gonna press open the seams. I love the pockets technique. Oh, I learned yesterday. I was almost falling asleep, and I learned the way to do like straps. I'm gonna make a little video. You'll see. Another thing that blew my mind. I'm like, wow. Okay, so now we gotta join. So I have the front here, right? That's kind of funny because it has this dart, but it's fine. It's like this. We're on track. And now I have to join the back and the front by the shoulder, which is normal, right? We're used to that. Where it is. Here's the back. So see how like this is the arm's eye, right? So the arms, and those are the shoulders of the front. And here are the shoulders of the back. So I'm just gonna join them right sides together, like here. There are two notches. I mean, a notch here and a notch here. One is done. Now the other one. Just paying attention to the notches. Where is this? Here. Oops. Okay. Oh, I should probably have attached the pockets first. Yes. So I'm just gonna press open. When there are pockets, I always like to sew it before, because then there's not much like the whole piece moving around the machine, but I forgot. So I guess I didn't put it in my list. So before we move, we're gonna attach the pocket. So here's the front. And my pocket's like that. There's a little mark here. There it is. Can you see? Oh, sorry, it was in the middle. Right here. And then I'm just gonna sew, and there's this opening that's here. I'm just gonna stitch by hand afterwards. Then I'll pin it in place. One side, and then the other side. Right here. Let me see the distance there. Pin it. The thing was, because this fabric wasn't enough for my whole I mean, it was almost not enough. I made it work, but the direction of the pattern is different. I think this is supposed to be clouds, but my clouds are going to be like vertical. It doesn't have a lining, Linda. It's no lining. Oh, your video is freezing? I don't know if it's, I'm sorry, Lily, because my internet is very powerful here, but I don't use like a cable, but it's very strong. I don't know. Let me know, guys, if it's freezing. Yeah, Linda, this is like, I got a Joanne, so you can, it's available now, and I think it was even on sale, actually. Yay. I'm doing like one stitch on the edge of the pocket. I think 2 stitches would be nice, like a double stitch, but this is enough for now. And if you want to do like one here as well, I didn't do that. One by the, you know, but it's kind of good, right? Oops. It's too thick. Right there. Great. So the pockets are on. This machine doesn't have the best stitch. I'm looking for the perfect machine. That's not it. All right. So now let's see. So, oh, now we have to clip the collar. And then join. I think it's to join the, oh no, now is the crazy part. Are you ready? So, because here's the thing. This front has a dart. Look, it's a dart that the point of the dart is here. Those are the dart legs right here. So what the process is, you just join these 2 parts and then go the seam goes from the tip of the dart here, the point of the dart, to the center. And you gotta sew starting from the center to the point, and then from the center again to the other point. And they tell you to pin it first, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I suppose if I hold like this, and then pin right here, and I have my 2 dart points right here, or the dart, something like that. Yeah, so that's here. Just join. There you have those dots on the pattern, so then just join those dots, and then sew here. And then from this on, I guess I'm gonna sew like this. So here's the point. And then the 2 dart legs right here. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna work. And I think after I have to clip here so it doesn't pull, you know, back there. So now I'm gonna stitch from here to the dart point. And then probably clip right here afterwards. I think I was supposed to clip before, but I didn't, so let's see. And you tight the tips of the, don't reverse at the end of the dart, and just tight the thread so it doesn't unravel. Okay, one side. Now I'm gonna do the other one. Now, what sewing machine do you guys have? Tell me. Do you have a new sewing machine? Do you have a Bernina? Do you have an industrial machine? What is it? I think, Ebony, you have a Bernina, no? Are you the Bernina club? Okay, approaching my dart point. Just tying this thing so I don't forget. Singer, Edita. Edita, you have a commercial machine, right? I remember, I think. Okay, guys, I think it's looking good. Also, I'm gonna clip there. One step I skipped. I forgot to stay stitch. So I should have stayed stitched this corner here on the line, on the facing before I sewed, but then I forgot. So I'm just gonna clip here right now, being careful to not cut my seam. I like my little scissors. Almost cut it, didn't. Okay. And the other one. It's from here. Right? Now it's looking like a coat almost. So I'm just gonna press, as you know I would. Hi, Eddie, you have a Bernina. Fancy. I got this Bernina, you can see now, but semi-industrial is so good. My sister got me into it because she has one, and it's so, the stitch is just perfect. A singer and a brother, Donna. Oh, cool. I had, you know, the ones that I've done the videos, mostly my old videos and stuff, is all my brother. It's very good too, but it's not charming. I should clip too. Here, let me clip more. And just press a little so it looks good. Okay. So now is the sleeves, which is easy, right? So I'm just gonna do the sleeve matching the notches. Let me make sure I don't need to do the gathering thing, the ease. So this is two, this is the front. I probably have to do the easy thing because I know there's like those, there were like dots here on the pattern, so they're probably gonna. No, I think it's fine. It doesn't need to do any ease. So I'm just gonna sew the sleeves to the pad, to the coat right now. Nice. I think Brothers are a very quality machine. The one I have is an embroidery one. I first got it back in the day when I still had my commercial one, and then I want to do embroidery. But then I never really used the fun because the machine does embroidery itself. I never used that feature. I always embroider free motion, like you guys seeing it. So it's not, and it's expensive. It was like $400 or something. But it does last. Most of the stuff I made after I closed my store was on that brother. So I'm just gonna easing a little bit here, since I didn't do the gathering really, but because it's a coat, and I think it's better. Yeah. There it is. It fit perfectly. The length of the arm's eye. Awesome. Look how much material. Now the other sleeve. A little ease. Yay. Now pressing, and then we can close the sides. Jesus Christ, so much stuff. Just so it's light. I'm excited because this is one of my favorite fabrics that I've ever found. And I think it would be cool in this cut. Okay, so next is to stitch the side seams, right? So then the coat is like together. And that's a long stitch from the cuff to the hem, just like that. Put my face there a little bit. No? No. Okay, at least we can be half and half. The notches are matching. Everything is going great. Now the other side. All right. I'm gonna press. I'm always pressing. But then after that, I'm gonna do the facing, and the facing is the part, you see how the dart works because the facing has a similar shape. Oh, and by the way, I cut it with the pinky shear, so I'm not gonna do any serging or anything. And like, I think, Linda, you were asking if there was a lining. There isn't, but you could add a lining here. If you just made the exact one, just cut this exact same pattern, except the facing. On another fabric, you can just sew them together and flip it inside. Are you going to straighten it? Yeah, thank you for asking. I didn't. I'm not, because I cut it like this. And this coat, I'm probably going to keep it to myself. I don't mind the extra little seaming side. But if it was to sell, you know, one thing that could be done here is to do the bias, you know, finishing with the bias tape. That would be nice to make the coat like looking more expensive. Nice. This is it. Now, the facing. I'll put full screen for the close-up. Let me see how my dart is. Oh, look, my dart is looking good. Look at that. Not bad. So, the facing. See how the facing has also this thing? They say like to clip here and then fold it. Because that's the part where it's going to match the collar. So first I'm going to stitch together, just like close the back neck and then do this part here. I think that's what they mean. Yeah. Oh, so I can fold. I'll show you what it is. I understand. So, you know, here's the seam. I'm just going to clip here a little bit, like a 3/4 of an inch. And so that way I can fold this here and do a little finishing. That's what it says. Yeah. So let me press this seam. Yeah, that part is kind of fast. It's faster than the prep was longer than the actual making part. Oh, I see. The thing is because this goes to the shoulder. Yeah, so I'm just gonna fold. So sew this here and here. Okay, so now it's ready to be attached to the coat itself. And then this is the round part that goes, okay, it doesn't hurt me to press. So here it is. Remember the whole collar here. And then the round. So just match the round part with this round part here. And sew all the way. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch from the center instead of going, because I have to go all the way to the hem, I don't want to go from one hem to the other hem because it's going to stretch. So I will just start in the center back and go all the way to the hem and then go the other way around, the other way back. Okay, one side. And hey, one thing I skipped, but I can do later, is to fold, you know, the facing itself. It needs a little hem here. So I'm going to do that afterwards. And I'm just going to keep attaching the facing to the piece. The notches are matching. It's like a miracle. Usually commercial patterns don't work like that. Well, I don't know, to me at least. Okay. Woohoo. Look, it's attached. I'm going to press. And here, so how I like to do this is I like to open the seam because, you know, it's going to be folded like this. But then if you open the seam first, this edge will look better when you fold it. It's kind of, it sounds strange, but it works. Just because it smooths out everything. And then when you fold it, it's straight. You know, in New York, I do have that round thing that you use for ironing. I keep forgetting to bring here because this would be a good, when you have curvy things like this, that thing is good. Do you know how that's called? It's like red plaid thing for tailor, for ironing. And then the next thing is the hem. And something that I learned with my mom, because she made a bunch of coats when she used to work for companies and stuff. And it's a nice finishing job. Let me go from the other way now. Okay, so after I have my seams open, I can fold. And then press the spacing. I actually like to see the outside. And my fabric has a little issue here, but when the person wears, it's gonna be like that, so it's okay. The person, me. You know, even like it was a salvage here, but I couldn't. I used almost everything. The curve. It's a lot of material and sewing on this piece. It's a sewing hem, Ebony. Is it for so? Oh, do you use for sewing too? You know what I'm talking about? It's like a this size. Mine at least is like red plaid that usually you leave on the. At least I see the tailors in New York. They have on their ironing board. All right. Now the hem. Let's see how the coat's looking. Okay, so this also has to be done, you know, but that has to be by hand. I'm not going to do it right now, just to close the inside here. And then this goes, and that's the reason why we clipped this, because it has to attach inside to this stitch here. And then so it stays like there. And then when you wear it, the collar is like this, okay? But then this is like hand stitch by hand. I'll just do later. I just want to show you how I'm going to do the hem now. Also, there's the cuff, right? I'm not sure. I have to try it on and see if the length is good for me. But basically this, I'm just going to fold and do the hem. As long as, you know, after I try, and no big deal. Just probably just fold one time and fold again. Just a simple, easy hem. And then here for the actual hem of the coat. So let's see how I can show you how I do this. So, you know, it would be like this, but if you do like that, it's not very fancy, right? So you just open up like that. And then you're going to sew here and here. Let me pin it to make sure that's the plan is correct. I don't want to, my hem will be like, yeah, and then when you sew, it's like that. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So I'm going to do a stitch here, and then I trim this part. And I think that's how they do it too. Oh. Or they honestly just, yeah, they don't even have this part. Okay. Let me do the other side because it looks like the. Oh, so it's called the hem. Yeah, like that. And then you just cut this. That's it. But, you know, this should be sewn, right? So I'm just going to do like that. The facing that I forgot to. finish. And it's about 1 inch. And then we trim this part up until this, and then it's like that. And trim here. I'm gonna trim here too. And flip it. Spoken, so because this is like the real tip of the coat, so you want to look good. Look, and then so it's right in place. You see, so if I had sewn this, which I should have, then this is my hem, and then I can fold here and just do the top stitch like that. Okay, so let's do the other side. It's like here. And you can measure this because I'm afraid that it might be one will be longer than the other. Yeah, but trimming it. And here just a little. And now I'm gonna press my hem. You're learning, Edita. Oh, that's amazing. Edita, anytime you need anything, just call me. If you're like, oh, how do I do that? If I know how to do it, I'll help you. I could also put a ribbon here, right? That would be sweet. Like a little, I have some that I collect. Vintage, like lacy ribbon. Look like this. Okay, so I'm just gonna press here so I make like a line for my hem. Now I run out of water. Okay, so now I know where it is, and I can and then keep going here. You guys are still there. Thank you for participating, guys. Now, so yeah, I think the length will be fine, hopefully. I do things by eye because I don't have patience, but you should measure things, okay? Even like my gauge there would be so helpful right now, but I'm kind of crazy. Okay, you got the idea, right? That's it. Because in fact, oh, I have this. It's kind of cool. That would be right in the front of the coat, this mark. I kind of like it. And so I'm going to, so let me just show you what I'm going to do later, because actually it takes time. We don't need to stay together here. I can do this by myself. I'll just sew, because I need to do the facing before I finish my hem. So basically what I'm going to do is just sew this, make like a nice stitch all around. And then when it's done, I'm going to come here and do the top stitch from here all the way to the other side. And then, you know, you can do like you don't go all the way to the top here when you do this. So that's the point of this coat, like the nice finishing. Look up coats, like commercial coats that you have at your house, Banana Republic or something. I have a Banana Republic, that's what I thought. And it doesn't have any stitch here, and that's the thing. You know, you could, if it's super nice, you can also do by hand, right? You just do like an invisible seam here, and then there's nothing out here, and then the front of the coat will look nice. Okay, where am I? Right here. Let's try it on and see how it looks. And then, you know, as always, I'll take a nice picture and post on Instagram. But for now, it's probably too big for me. Look, something like this, right? Look, this is too long. I have to crop the sleeve. Yeah, I did a size medium. It kind of runs large, just so you know, if you're going to make it. But I like oversized clothing, so I kind of like it. Then you know, the other thing is you can do a top stitch right on the edge here, but only if you do a very nice job. Otherwise, it looks a little sloppy. But that's the coat. How do you like it? It's nice, right? I'm happy. Yeah, so I'm going to try to finish tomorrow morning and then post a video. Thank you, Donna. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Next time we'll do something else. I just thought this would be a nice, it was easier than I thought, actually, because I thought like the dart would be complicated and everything, but it was worth it. Right? Thank you, and happy holidays, and I'll see you around. I'll see you in the, you know, send me messages if you have questions. If you're watching the replay, leave a comment, leave a question. I'll respond to you as soon as I can. All right? Have a good night. Thank you.